What's up guys, Macadii here. Now today I'm bringing you guys a brand new top 5 for you guys. We're going to be going through the top 5 worst competitive items you can run in Pokemon. Now if you're excited for this and do enjoy the video as well, don't forget to hit the like button down below. I'd really appreciate that. Now, there are a few sort of rules that I decided to do when I made this list. First of all, I've decided not to include berries because there are a wide range of very useless berries. But on top of that as well, some of them are used for nature power and stuff like that, so they're kind of an exception to this rule. On top of this as well, the only items I've included are either ones that someone's suggested on a moveset, say in a forum or in a video, or I have knocked the item off, or I've actually activated it and seen it in use. So there might be some other items which may be completely useless in battling, but they're just ones that I have not seen. So without further ado, let's jump straight into number 5. So at number 5, we do have the Destiny Knot. Now, for you guys that don't know what Destiny Knot does, how it works is if you become infatuated, say they use Attract on you, then your item activates and then they become attracted to you as well, which is just incredibly situational, and coupled with the fact as well that if you do bump into a Pokemon that runs Attract, which is extremely rare in competitive play, you then also have a 50-50 chance of actually being the correct gender where they would actually then try and attract you. So really incredibly situational for this one. So at number 3 and number 4, they are fairly similar items, but I have decided to rank this one the lowest. We have the Cell Battery. Now how this works is if you get hit by an electric type attack, you take the damage of the electric type attack and then you get an attack boost. So just incredibly situational, and just I have no idea why I saw someone using this. But also on top of this as well, Volt switches are quite a common thing, and you'll just Volt switch, that you'll activate the item and then straight away your sort of surprise factor has gone, and then they can go out into something else, say a wall or something else, and Revenge Killer, and take you out before your Cell Battery has even had a chance to sort of give you any competitive advantage at all. On top of this as well, electric types, while they are quite relatively common, they aren't the most common moves as well. And a lot of Pokemon as well don't really appreciate switching into electric type moves as well. Especially with that chance to paralyze as well, you've always got to factor that in as well. So yeah, extremely situational, but not as situational as I would think in the next one. So at number 3, we do have the Absorb Bulb. Now for you guys that don't know what the Absorb Bulb does, what happens is if you get hit by a water move, then the Absorb Bulb activates. You do take the damage of that water move, and then your special attack goes up by 1, which is just extremely situational as well. Now I have ranked this above the Cell Battery, mainly because of the fact that Scald is the most common water move, and if you're switching in on Scalds, there's a fairly good chance you're going to get burnt. Whereas at least with electric type moves, most of them have a very small chance of being parried outside of maybe Discharge, but even then Discharge is not particularly popular. At number 2, we do have the Shell Bell. Now what to say about the Shell Bell? It is definitely an item where Leftovers just completely outclasses it. So how Shell Bell actually works is you actually heal back 1/8 for the damage that you deal, which sounds really great, especially on really offensive mons. But when you actually break it down and think about it, if you've got walls, they're much detter off with Leftovers, because you've got to do quite a reasonable amount of damage just to get 6% of your Leftovers back. You know, you've got to deal 48% of your equivalent HP to that other Pokemon to be able to just even tie with Leftovers, which is an insane amount of damage. On top of this as well, you can argue, oh, but hard hitters, you know, sweepers like Porygon Z or something like that can use it. Well, surely there's much better offensive items you can be using rather than healing ones, especially with quite a lot of the very fast, hard-hitting mons being very frail anyway, and would benefit much more from either a choice item or expert belt or life orb. Okay, so our final item that we do have here is the Big Root. Now, why did I choose the Big Root as the first one? Well, how it actually works is you absorb an extra 30% more HP with moves like Giga Drain, Draining Kiss, Leech Seed, Ingrain, those sorts of things. Which does sound really fantastic, but when you actually break it down, it doesn't make much sense. It has that same problem with the Shell Bell, where you need a really offensive Pokemon to actually counteract the, to actually match up to Leftovers, which just doesn't make any sense. You're much better off with things like Life Orb or something like that. It only benefits your draining moves, and on top of this as well, your other moves don't get any bonuses, and you don't heal from them as well. On top of this as well, the actual damage output in terms of the actual base damage of absorbing moves are relatively low at sort of Giga Drain's about 75, so they are relatively weak moves in comparison, so you're really going to have to get some real welly behind it to be able to actually match leftovers. It also is argued that you can use it on leech seeding sets, but when you actually do the maths, you do get an extra 4%, just under 4% for using Big Root, whereas you get 6% just straight away from leftovers. So a completely and utterly useless item that almost everywhere you look, leftovers just completely outclasses it. Well, there you have it, guys, the top 5 worst competitive items that I have come across. I hope you guys did enjoy this top 5, and I hope you don't disagree with me too badly, but what I'd be really interested to see is actually what weird and wacky items have you seen, either from Knockoff or through forums and things like that. If you did enjoy this top 5 as well, don't forget to hit the like button down below. I would really appreciate it. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I will see you guys at the next one. Macadii out.